So ball compressions. Let's go and talk about the myths and white lies and over marketing to them. To start out with, the biggest thing that you have to pay attention to, none of the manufacturers are going to go and market their compression by the same exact rating. Some of them will go and market it based off of the core, hence the reason the Zips used to be marketed off of the 0 compression core, versus others are going to go and mark their compression off the overall construction. Let's kind of push that off to the side for now. Understanding the compression and how it's actually going to affect the way that you play is going to dictate a whole lot more. This is going to be a multi-set video that's going to be basically in a pretty good series explaining everything that you need to know about a golf ball, how to make a better choice on lowering your scores, saving your wallet, as well as giving you a better idea when you walk into the store. Instead of just playing golf ball roulette and grabbing whatever is just in front of you, you could get a better idea of what direction you need to go. That's going to give you a little bit more performance based on what you want. Me personally, I play generally 3 golf balls throughout the year. They're going to be set for specific reasons. All of this is going to explain as to why I do that. That's going to be another video. So to start out with, you have your high compression golf balls, your mid compression golf balls, and your low compression. The myth of it is soft golf balls are slower. Yes, that is true, but also it is false. So in golf, the big exaggerated differences, oh, I gained so much more height, I gained so much more yardage and everything, it's actually measured in a smaller percentage than you actually think. The difference of, say, the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X in flight is going to be approximately 5 feet. That is not as much as you think. But in all actuality, it could change your descent angle. It's going to change how it's going to land on the green, how it's going to perform and react. That could actually give you distance based on the fact that you're getting a little bit more carry out of it with higher flight. Now, back to the whole compression idea to it. MyGolfSpy has done so much data testing on compression to only prove that from a 50 compression to 105 compression, the difference is only about 3 miles an hour. That's ball speed. I swing at 110 miles an hour and I used to swing at 118 miles an hour. Why am I explaining that? Because there's 2 golf balls on this table that I've been playing for the better half of about 20 years. The Wilson Staff Zip and the Z-Star XPs. The other one that I used to play doesn't exist anymore, and I'm still trying to find that middle tier ball. Why is this important? Because I know at 110 miles an hour, I have diminishing returns with the Wilson Staff Zip. At higher swing speeds, you're going to lose out a percentage of distance on that. So let's kind of dig in a little bit on explaining why is this important and why is it not. So yes, you're going to lose out a little bit of ball speed when it comes to playing a softer ball. But when you go in to go get fitted for your driver or whatever, your main focus is going to be what is your swing speed. That's going to dictate your flex, your loft, lie, a bunch of other things, as well as how you impact the ball. At 110 miles an hour, I will actually gain more ball speed off of either this Cut DC or this Z-Star XP. I'm going to lose a little bit of it playing the Pro V1 or the Q-Star Tour, but where I'm going to gain that at is going to be about my mid irons and short irons. This is important for you to understand. Yes, you're going to sacrifice a little bit of distance off the tee, but you're going to make that up in the shorter clubs in your bag. When you start getting above 105 miles an hour, again, this is off of like 4 different websites and different studies and breakdowns that everybody has done on trying to explain what compression does with your swing speed. Above 105 miles an hour, you get roughly about a 6% diminishing return on distance loss. When you go and look from, again, a 50 compression to a 105 compression golf ball, the difference is about 3 miles an hour of ball speed. In golf, every about 2.5 miles an hour can translate to about 10 yards. That is 1 club length if your gapping is set correctly. So between the 2 spectrums of this, you're talking about approximately 14 yards. That could be a big difference on your approach shot, your follow-up shot, your second shot into the green on par 5 or whatever. You need to be the judge on how you want to go and fix this. If you're landing in the category of somebody that's swinging between 80 to 90 miles an hour, You could play anything that's on this table and see negligible differences on it because your diminishing returns are going to be approximately 1 to 2%. I'm tired of hearing a lot of people go out there and say, oh, I can't play X ball because I don't compress it right. Who said you can't go out and play a Bridgestone B or whatever the firmest ball is and not get compression as an 80 mile an hour swing speed? You're getting compression out of some sort to it. You're not getting the optimized compression out of it. What you're actually getting when it comes to the compression rating and the differences of it on your drives, it's a term used in golf balls called core. It is the coefficient of restitution. In short, the TLDR is you have your ball, and when you hit it, it's going to deform slightly, and the core is going to dictate how fast is that ball going to go back into its shape. The firmer the ball, the harder you have to hit it to deform it more, and it's going to snap back more because of the density and everything that's going on with the materials to it. Whereas a softer ball is easier for you to compress it, slower swing speeds could get the proper compression amount as you would with the faster, firmer balls. That's where you start to maintain a little bit of that little bit of a gain out of that. Now, the importance behind all of this is you could be at 80 mile an hour swing speed and play the hardest golf balls out there and still see performance. You're gonna lose out on the driver distance because you're not activating the core as much as you should be in, say, a middle tier or lower tier in compression. You're gonna gain a little bit more out of that one when it comes to spin around the greens and stuff, because let's face it, when you're actually hitting partial shots, that's where the cover and everything's gonna start reacting to it. That's the multi-layers of the golf ball. That's a topic for another video that I'm gonna get into. There's a whole nother breakdown as to why that's extremely important, but right now we're just talking about the core. Not the core, we're talking about the compression of the golf ball. So, I know when I play the Zips, I lose about 10 yards off the tee. Where I gain that distance and performance out of it actually is going to be about my 7-iron down to my pitching wedge. I'm just talking about full shots. I'm not talking about partial shots. When you go in for your fitting, club testing, whatever, again, they're going to ask you what is your swing speed. That's going to dictate a lot of the stuff. Again, your swing speed for your driver, mine being 110, is saying I need to be playing a firmer golf ball that's going to be 95, 100, 100 plus compression. That doesn't mean I can't play other golf balls. The reason I'm going to see a better performance out of the 7-iron down, when you go and hit irons to test out a new set or whatever, they're going to dictate a swing speed off of that one. Your 7-iron is going to be about 20 miles an hour slower than your driver. Why am I mentioning this? Well, if you're hitting 90 mile an hour driver, that's going to put you in a middle tier category for compression. I just went from 110 to hitting a driver. Now I just went to 90 miles an hour for my 7-iron. Say, swap back and forth with driver or whatever. I'm going to be interacting with the compression differently. So I'm going to have hotter ball speeds and a little bit more spin and interaction with the ball being softer on the lower end of my bag. Again, where the rest of the interaction comes into is the different types of layers and how it functions. That's another video. But I'm just tired of seeing the marketing behind a lot of it is saying that you have to play the fastest ball to the fastest speed that you could hit and so on and so forth. You don't have to. Again, it's a 6% difference from the softest ball to the fastest ball. You could play anything that's on this table or anything that's on the shelf and see a performance gain and a performance loss. None of the golf balls are going to be a do-all ball for you. It is not going to be the best across the entire bag. There's going to be a specific reason why this ball works. I prefer the Zip in terrible condition weather, wind, rain, moisture on the ground or whatever, because the cover of the ball is a little bit firmer. The ball itself is soft. It's nice to interact with. It's not as harsh on the hands. The dimples on it are super shallow and they don't really interact with air density as much as anything else that's on this table. That is great for me during the winter play because I'm still seeing overall good performance out of it. I just know I'm losing about 10 yards on my driver and my 3-wood. During the summer, stuff like that, I go and play different things. say this Z-Star XV, because I like the overall general performance to it. I don't have to worry about stinging my hands because of how cold it is, but I know I'm gonna get that different interaction and the overall explosive energy to it. I don't need the compression on the lower end to try to get that carry out of it a little bit more. I want that lower descent angle that's going to be able to go and impact where I need it to be. That's where I'm going to gain the difference between the two. So when you actually start looking at the overall idea of compression, you need to play the fastest ball or whatever. No, you don't. You need to figure out what part of the game you want to pretty much put all of your stats and performance into. It's a 3-tiered setup where you get your distance, you get your height, and you get your spin. It's a little wobbly triangle that you got to figure out which part of the triangle you want to move those stats to get that performance out of. Hopefully this was at least informative enough on compression to give you a little bit better understanding that, yes, you are going to lose out on some ball speeds, mostly on the long end, depending on your swing speed to the compression, but ultimately the compression shouldn't dictate your game. A good example of why you really shouldn't pay too much of attention on compression, because some people that swing slower will say that a firmer golf ball hurts a little bit more. The Z-Star XV is the softest feeling ball to me versus a Pro V1. The Pro V1 feels like a rock. That's because of the cover mantle density. That's a whole nother topic for another video. I hope this gave you some sort of an idea and understanding about compression. I'm definitely going to be doing a deeper dive on all the different aspects of a golf ball, so hopefully you have a better understanding and knowledge, so when you go into the store the next time, you could pick up a dozen off of any shelf with confidence that the only thing you have to do is test it from tee to green to see if it's going to give you the optimized performance that you want. If you want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe. If you disagree with me or you agree, leave a comment down below. Keep it in the fairway. Have a good one.